Hello, and welcome to the 10th episode of the Best of Nothing podcast. I'm your host, Sir Chandarius, and today to my left we have,
Cletus, the easily entertained idiot.
and to my right.
It's your boy Red returning back from Mexico.
Alright. So, let's talk about our weeks. What's been going on? What's been happening? Red has a lot to talk about when it comes to Mexico. Well, besides alcohol, let's hope. And Cletus, well,
Uh,
Cletus is being Cletus.
Yeah, there you go.
But, as usual, I'll start with my week. Another work week's gone, and I feel all the better for it because for the first time in probably 2 weeks last night, I actually managed to get some sleep. I don't know what's
nice.
been wrong
Nice.
with me lately. I don't know why, but I just have not been able to sleep properly for like the last 2 weeks. I've been waking up like
I
every
think
hour. I've been like going to sleep and waking back up like 20 minutes later.
uh
It's been ridiculous, and I don't know. It was finally starting to get to me. I felt super sick yesterday, but last night
mhm.
I slept till 5 today. That's how much I actually slept and to catch up.
Hey
You know what I mean?
Chan, I think I know why you're sleeping better. You passed that freaking curse to me now. Because now I'm not able to sleep for some weird ass
Yeah, but
reason.
it's
I'm
been for
just
2 weeks, dude.
it
So if I can
started two
explain,
weeks ago for me, so
if
it's
I
I
may,
guess we had
boys,
the same thing. Yeah. hmm
there's numerous different factors that can go into play that will affect your sleep. One being stress. Whether or not you yourself feel stressed, there can be something that just lingers in the back of your head that you're not actively thinking of that makes your body subconsciously feel stressed or tense.
Mm,
That's the type of issue I had a lot in the military. I
wife,
wouldn't feel
wife,
stressed at that
fight
moment.
back, kill wife, regret.
Exact. Essentially, like you never. It could even just be a simple thought that your brain just subconsciously goes to without you thinking of it, and then because that your body reacts and simply wakes up.
Yeah.
It's a weird phenomenon. It could be that. It could also be simply your body informing you, "Hey, buddy, you about to catch something."
Anyways, besides that, I tried a body armor for the first time.
Ooh, thoughts?
Pretty
How'd it
good
go?
actually. Like it doesn't taste like a sugary mess like workout drinks do. It actually
Like
tastes
Gatorade?
yeah, yeah. It actually tastes like there's some good stuff in there. And it even comes off as a little bitter sometimes, which I appreciate because that means there's actual fruit in there.
hmm
My brother used to drink Power Armor like his life depended on it.
Body armor.
Body Armor, same. Regardless, he would seriously chug
Drinking
down
drinking power armor fluid would probably kill you.
unless you have the willpower to surpass it.
That's true.
Yeah,
But
but like T45, that stuff is like 80% lead. You'd probably die.
or be metal.
Unless you have the power to surpass it.
Okay, maybe a super mutant could drink T45 like power armor fluid, but a human couldn't.
Juice me up and
But
I'll show you
would
a
they
super
get high
mutant.
off of that? I would assume so.
Well, or no, orcs can drink motor oil and get high off of it. But
Okay.
no, super mutants can I would say that a super mutant could probably drink T45. Anything above T45 and it would probably kill them.
hmm
Yeah, it's so like he would seriously drink the body armors like three. You know, they're not big. They're not small bottles. Like
They're they're
they
they're
actually have a lot.
they're chunky bottles.
Yeah, he would drink like four of those a day.
4?
Yeah, he would just straight up drink only those and energy drinks for a couple months, and then he decided to tone it back and actually start drinking more water. Partially because, well, one, it's about to warm up, so both he and I are about to have a very busy couple months again.
Spy!
Not
What'd they do to Demo Man? He's unconscious. He's talking nonsense. They gave him solid food and water. His body doesn't know how to react to it.
essentially, yes.
I imagine that's how people are when they live on nothing but energy drinks like that. It's just like you give them water and their body just dies.
Honestly, that's how it was when I started drinking more water and I cut down my energy drinks down to basically almost like when I drink alcohol, is only on the weekends. And even then, I don't plan to drink alcohol for a while because, oh boy,
hmm
I
I
was
love
enduring
how
basically a 3-day hangover.
wow. I love how in the comics how they explain Demo Man coming back to is that he managed to turn his kidneys into fermenting stations, so he fermented his own blood.
Oh my god.
Honestly, I would honestly love to have that.
Demo Man's a fucking legend. Fucking turning his own blood into alcohol.
Hey, what happened to being safe for work?
What do you mean?
I thought we weren't
That's
swearing.
No, swearing's okay. It's just that okay. I forgot to mention Isabel's out today, so they're not, and so nobody's allowed to say anything Isabel worthy, or they get kicked out of the podcast.
In other
cursing
words,
is fine.
folks, I'm gonna try to see how long I can last.
But if they actually succeed, I'm gonna give them all nat 20 in D&D to use as they see fit.
I'm gonna
You know,
use
that
them
would have
for
been nice
stupid,
earlier
like,
today.
getting some good alcohol or
That
some
probably
shit
would have
like
been
that.
would have been nice earlier today. Do we want to talk about what happened in today's session? Because it's gonna be a few months before it. Because that's also something we have to do in the podcast. We have to talk a little bit about D&D, just because how slow it is that those episodes come out.
So,
Works.
We made it to Valentine. We're officially out of Saint Denis.
indeed,
Yep.
we're about to fight a boss Rex. Right before
Oh.
we decide we're gonna hold off on this go because rather than using our dice bots, we had to use actual dice. So
And
we're going by the
everyone
honor
was
system.
rolling. Everyone was rolling shitty and nat ones, and Zeno didn't even
No,
have his own.
I just I'm living on the nat ones like it was nothing for some reason. It was just
My
pure nat
dice hate you. Like, oh my god. Like
Nothing wrong to them.
I thought the slimes would like you, but then they started like killing you. Then the copper tone went on you, and the only dice that worked for you were the boss dice.
Maybe it's just because the boss dice likes me because I like to play games that involves a lot of bosses into
Maybe
it. So
it's because that you know Boom, and Boom like gave me those dice sets, so probably
true.
that's a reason for it.
To
Yeah,
be
and
fair though, when it came to the dice rolls, I only had one failure today, which is astonishing for me.
Yeah, one
Like,
failure, but then Boom's failure ended up being your death.
yes,
true. That's true. And during the whole time, we established that dices probably have their own thoughts and all that stuff.
personalities.
So there you go. So yeah. So
Temperaments.
treat your dices nice, and they will treat you nice.
Unless you
Alright?
get that nat 20 and only gives you ones, throw it. Just
Throw
throw
it.
it.
Don't even hesitate. Just throw it. Get rid of it. Just get rid of them. They're cursed.
Unless you have
They're
a thing of
evil.
holy water there, then dunk it. Just keep on dunking it. Like, seriously,
Yeah.
you keep going at it like a white girl is dunking her croissant into her Starbucks drink, okay? You just dunk it over and over, all right?
Like a girl.
But essentially what
Anyways,
happened...
about the rest of my week. Other than that, work's been going pretty okay. Like, we've been having these, like, strange orders, actually, if I'm being completely honest.
Oh, I would ask, but I feel like that would possibly
Yeah, I
be
feel like it's
interfering with the
supposed to be
DMCA.
yeah.
It's not gonna be, it's not like we have to, like, do a, you cannot disclose other people's orders, but,
Okay.
okay, I'm gonna just come out with it. You both know Valentine's Day is coming up.
Oh,
I have put so much lubricant in my order carts that it's not even fucking funny.
I don't know. That's pretty
Lubricants,
funny.
Valentine's candy, like strawberries, whipped cream. It's like okay, come on, guys. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Yeah, they're
you should have
some
seen.
fun.
So the last Valentine's I was a part of, or the last Valentine's I genuinely did something for, was in MOS training, and you know what we did?
What?
All right, actually, I don't know if I could say that, and Isabel will. Let's just say
If you think
sword.
so, then you
We
probably
were
should.
sword fighting
Yeah,
each
yeah.
other using things that aren't necessarily swords. that
Okay,
you would find in a
I
shop.
thought when you said sword fighting, I'm like, dude, come on. It's been like 8 minutes.
No, I'm
I
literally
was
doing
about to
everything I
say,
can
like,
to be as
come
PG
on.
as possible here.
Okay,
All right,
so you
Hey,
were
Chan,
what were you
Chan.
sword fighting with then?
dildos. You see why I had to branch out a bit?
That's
Oh.
very on the line.
You see why I was saying the type
Hey.
of thing you would find in specialty shops?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but
I
close
was
one, right? That
trying.
was on the line.
You asked
Chan.
me, I answered, all right?
Yeah.
That shouldn't count even if it was over the line.
It's not just those orders that are just weird. It's like we're getting orders that are like for 8 items only, and like then we get like large orders that have like it's just been a really strange couple of weeks, you know what I mean?
I mean, I could definitely see it. Around holidays, people do be ordering weird things.
Another order that was super weird is someone made the same order twice. And when we called them, it's like, "Hey, you made this order twice." And they're like, "Oh yeah, I want 2 sets of all the items." And it was a big order, and I'm like, "What the fuck is going on here?" It's like,
Hey, you never know.
why would someone need 2 sets of like a 150 piece? You know what I mean?
Oh wow, yeah.
I mean, maybe one for them and one for a homie. Who knows?
Fair, fair. Yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta look out after your homies.
yeah, but the
Let no
exact
grow
same
alone.
items?
Maybe their homie liked it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Anyways, that's my week. Oh, yeah, I have other things to talk about. That's part of my week, but those are gonna be subject topics. Anyways, who wants to go? Who wants to go next?
You can go first, Cletus.
All right. Nothing terribly exciting for my week. Just watched a lot of Attack on Titan. Got into the fourth season. Oh boy, shit's really getting
You,
serious now. Yeah.
Cletus, I
I'm not
swear,
saying
man.
anything about it.
Okay,
Don't
I
you
was about
worry.
to say I have been doing everything I can. I'm waiting till all of season 4 is out so I can binge it.
Just about all of season four is out now. It should
Yeah,
just about be ending. So, but
I've
yeah.
heard there should only be like
I've
2 weeks
actually been
left.
focusing my time with I'm a Spider, so what?
I've
Yeah.
heard good
There's
things
only been
about
like
that.
two, 3 episodes of that right
There's
now,
6 out.
right? Oh,
Episode
what?
6
Huh.
just came out.
Is it good?
Yeah, she fights a giant fire eel, then she makes a home inside of its corpse to evolve.
What the fuck?
Well, you're a
Um,
spider in a dungeon, but what's so funny about that is that it takes a spin on, yeah, everyone in her class got reincarnated, but they're all reincarnated as random things. So one guy is this cool hero guy, and this other girl that she knows is like this earth dragon, like little cute thing, and she's like, man, this is some bullshit. Why do I have to be some little earth dragon?
That actually reminds me of another anime that as much as I hate, like, okay, it's both a love and hate. I fell in love with this anime because it tends to follow the same freaking route as some of my D&D characters in Fantasy Zone. I'm not kidding.
Oh,
All right,
please tell
it's
me you're
P.
not gonna say redo of a
Nope, nope,
healer. Thank
no.
God, because
Although I do
that
want to watch
anime
it.
is heinous, and next week we have to talk about that because Isabella will be back next week.
I want to watch it. Not gonna lie,
Don't.
I'm gonna.
Oh no.
I don't
I'm
think you
not.
understand
Watch
how
it's
low
gonna
my
make him
standards are.
watch
I
it.
don't need. I don't need you getting ideas read.
Chill. I'm good. All right. Season 1 red ain't here. Okay, we're Gucci.
Yeah.
He only comes out if we involve alcohol.
God.
But
Okay.
anyway, the anime I was
Let's see.
referring. Oh, go on. I'll talk about that later.
No.
Yeah,
No,
you can.
say it.
I am
So
curious. That's what I was gonna say.
the anime is called Era Fuerta.
I've
Now,
never heard of that.
it's
Yeah.
not one that you really hear of. I only found out about it because of a random YouTube anime music video, because that's usually how I find my music. I've always liked to look up AMVs. You never know what type of anime I'll find. That's how I find my anime and my music. Basically, the main premise of it is that it's a stereotypical entire class gets reincarnated in a dungeon-like world. All of them are like their own classes. The main character ends up being a class that basically he transmogrifies things.
All right.
So right off the bat, and everyone else is like a fighter, a healer, or some type of support. But for him, he's like, what?
Transmogrification is actually a very high-end type of magic. Like, it's
Oh yeah.
super busted in D&D.
And the thing is at the beginning he's like, what the hell do I even do? Like he's still learning. He doesn't know what to do. And they decided to go through a dungeon. And the thing is, one of his classmates betrayed him. And the way this dungeon worked is you go deeper down into it to reach the lower levels. And apparently, if you hit the 100th level and beat it, you get some type of reward. And they think that might have a way to send them all back home.
Makes
The
sense.
thing is,
like have a wish.
that it gets more dangerous as you go down, and they're all low level. So they're on like floor 8 or something like that. And they're fighting this giant monster that's not supposed to be there until at least like floor 60 or something. So them seeing it on like floor 8, they all panicked and started unloading on it, trying to get everyone out. One of his teammates betrayed him and knocked him off the bridge, having him plummet all the way down to like floor 80. And so while down there, he ends up learning how to survive on his own, even losing an arm in the process by eating the monsters and learning that he can absorb some of their abilities. So he used traps to kill off some high-end monsters, eating them, gaining their abilities, getting stronger, and even learn how to transmogrify himself like a freaking high-end pistol with some very specialty ammo because of the minerals and ore that are down there.
Well, yeah, that's how transmogrification works. Like, Full
That's
Metal
cool.
Alchemist is like, that's not alchemy they're doing. They're transmogrifying shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Now here's
That's the most bullshit part about Full Metal Alchemist. It's not alchemy. Alchemy is the um use of chemicals and like, herbs and shit to make potions. What they're doing is they're transmogrifying stuff, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Being the full metal alchemist just means that he can transmogrify metal and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mhm.
and so here's what I'm getting to. Now, here's where I am saying that here's where he was similar to a lot of my characters. Later in the anime, he encounters a little like mermaid girl, a young kid, and he tries to find her a place. The thing is, she for some reason imprinted on him and viewed him as dead.
Wait a minute!
Oh
Now
my
you're
god,
probably
that's
recognizing
cute.
it. You probably don't know the name, but you probably know it. And during
Cute.
this time, he's in a group, accidental harem, shocker. But
That's
they're
that's this anime?
yes,
I've seen it. That's the plot line behind this whole anime?
and the funny thing is, and the entire harem, he actually does have one person that he genuinely loves. He even gave her a ring before meeting the others, and he doesn't really care about the others. He views them as friends.
You mean
But
you
there's
mean the anime where he sticks that metal bar up that dragon's ass?
yeah, that's the one, baby.
Ah, not this anime.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's a great laugh. It's awesome. I
All the
love it.
girls are fucking baby crazy. God.
Yes. But like I said, between him, the main girl, and the daughter, that was more or less my D&D characters compared to their
That
usual
is
family.
I will say this about that anime. That anime is pretty rad, but I was like watching a bit of it and I'm like, man, I'm gonna watch this anime one day. But you're telling me that that's the actual plot line behind the story? That's why he
It
was missing an arm?
essentially, I know it's a bit of a weird one with the usual trope, being reincarnated in a different world.
I'm
But
so
I
upset that
deeply
that anime is a reincarnation anime because that anime was
well,
pretty sick actually from what I saw.
the thing is I still recommend it because honestly, towards the end, they no longer really care to leave.
Still, I have to say, out of all the reincarnation animes, the top tier one, which is the best of the best, Rising of the Shield Hero.
I haven't
Yes,
seen
I
that
have to
yet.
agree with that.
That's
Like,
I
That in ReZero, I personally
I
like ReZero
love
better.
eh,
ReZero. Although
Depressing, but
I've never gotten into ReZero.
the thing I do hate is the ending. Oh my god.
I have to say, I do not like ReZero at all. I would rather watch Overlord.
Okay, Overlord's
I like
also great.
Overlord. Overlord is good.
Overlord, I would honestly, as much as I love ReZero, I would actually put Overlord above because it's
Like,
honestly
I don't see why everyone likes ReZero. Like, ReZero is like,
It's more towards the romance kind of stuff. That's the
yeah,
main
but
thing
it's just
going
like,
for
oh
ReZero.
no, something went wrong. Up, guess he's gotta kill himself. No repercussions.
well, no, the
Actually,
repercussion.
no, there is repercussions with
Yeah,
that.
like keep in mind,
None of the
he
episodes
still
I watched.
remembers it.
And the other reason why I liked it a lot is because it's to a degree they're being realistic. He's going through a lot of mental problems. That's
Yeah,
why he
like
keeps
especially
breaking every now
towards
and
the
then.
end, you see it
Yeah.
literally weighing down on him, and it's like destroying him mentally.
Yeah, like he had to go through a whole series of things like where he had to go back and see his past and actually see the past that he killed and see what happened after it because he's kind of
I
like
still,
replacing
nothing you can
bodies.
say. Like,
It's sad.
I get that it weighs down on him, but then you watched fucking Isekai High School and he's fine.
But that's
That's because it's not canon. It's just a legitimately random show.
I still say that it's like at that point
Well,
when
you
death
want him
has
to be
no
depressed on that show?
what?
You want him to be depressed on Isekai?
Well, sure. You
I mean, to be fair, that's what Subaru was. He
Naofumi
actually
didn't
was
change.
depressed. Like that's the thing why I personally liked it is you actually saw it. Like you don't see it
But
at the
we're not.
beginning, but
I'm not. I just don't like ReZero in general. Just the story never grabbed me. It
Hmm,
just never was like
fine then.
a story that
it's
like.
because I'm not gonna lie, the story itself isn't that great. Although there are some pretty decent fight scenes, and in general,
Hmm.
for me, what usually catches me is character development. That's usually what
Yes,
catches
there
me.
you go.
And
Hmm.
Subaru underwent one of the best character developments I've ever seen because you see him learning how to better survive in the world and how his mental psyche is just constantly being worn down more and more and
And
more to the
I
then
point
every
where
forget.
he's
now
I
and then he
demoralized.
has
forget
that
who. I
moment when
forget who made it, but someone made this SFM animation of Rem and Ram. They're talking, and Rem is super despondent because she's like, Subaru doesn't love me. And then she's like, there's other guys you can hang out with. What about Felix? And she says two words, cat dick. It's like,
Yes, I actually know what you're talking
ooh,
about. And she's like, well,
yeah,
at least
you're
that's
right.
Subaru. I'm not gonna finish
At least,
that.
at least this Subaru has heated seats.
But like personally, I just kind of liked the fact of seeing him worn down and then seeing him understand his reasoning why he wants to keep pushing through and then trying to push through and do what he
When death
can
has no
for everyone.
consequence, you have all the right to push through as much as you want. Look at
No,
Dragon
he didn't
Ball.
want to. He wanted to give it all up. He constantly
See,
tried to give up his power just so he could stop. He didn't want to deal with it
exactly.
anymore.
Like towards the end, he
When you're as
genuinely
death
tried to
prone as that
find a way.
girl from fucking Life is Strange, you kind of need that power.
Well, the thing is he's thrown into a world where there's magic, there's people with powers, and he's got nothing. Like he's your average everyday peasant who's on the front lines.
Who can fucking reincarnate every single time he dies.
You're
Anyways,
right.
moving on from the subject
wait,
topic.
Wait. Real quick. Right? He can die and stuff, but right now he can't fix the fact that someone's memory is completely gone. No one recognizes one person anymore. He can't do anything about that. He's trying to do something, so death isn't going to fix that.
I still say that I'm not gonna get into ReZero like ever. And nothing anyone says can convince me.
We're just simply correcting the fact that you said there was no consequence when there was a lot of consequence with each time he did that.
I still say that it wasn't drastic enough for there to say that there's consequence. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's one thing when your psyche gets broken down, that does so much more to you than any physical wound.
Yeah, plus I need to send you the one scene of when he just straight up
broke. Don't bother.
When Ram was, twisted and broken and
that was dark. Oh my god.
Where she brutalized
that's when I stopped watching it for a time.
No, not when she brutalized him, when she got brutalized.
Oh yeah, that scene. Yeah. I've seen that scene before.
Yeah, I stopped watching that scene happen for a while.
I still say, it's just death has no consequence in that show.
I mean, to each their own, even though it clearly shows there is.
It really does, but oh well.
Sorry, I muted you guys for a second by accident. I dropped something on my keyboard.
I actually heard that.
Like something hit my keyboard and you guys got muted. I'm sorry. Anyways, moving on from that subject topic.
Oh right, other parts of my day.
Talk. Yeah. You have to talk about your week now.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Like I said, I was watching a lot of Attack on Titan with my sister. Gotten really into it. My sister and I are actually going to start making a cosplay for it because it'll be fun. I've already actually just bought the cloak, so.
It's not that I cosplay. It's not that I hate cosplayers. It's just that Attack on Titan cosplays are so cheaply done because they're so.
That's the point.
It's so easy to get the clothes. Like I don't see people
it's a cheap cosplay for anyone to do that doesn't need a lot of money because there's a lot of cosplays that demand money.
You misunderstand what I'm saying. People will put on an Attack on Titan like cloak and they'll call it done.
You're talking about the lazy ones.
Yeah. They don't bother with the pants, the belt, the coat.
I'm getting all that. I'm gonna get the full body straps. I'm gonna start trying to work on the boots because my sister has riding boots, so I can use that.
Yeah,
I can,
if you're gonna cosplay, at least put if you have no money and that's all you can do, I understand. If it's a little kid, I understand. But I have seen a fucking I almost said 7-year-old. I've seen a fucking 11-year-old win a cosplay contest, not because he was cute, but because he made his own Cloud Strife sword and he looked exactly like Cloud Strife, and he won an award at the cosplay contest. And I'm like, okay, it's clear that these people can do that kids have talent, right?
Yeah.
But like for some of the other people where they're like, yeah, I'm cosplaying as this character, and you have one item on, it's like. Sure, I guess, but I'm sitting
have their
over
fun.
here. Yeah, I'm letting them have their fun, obviously. But when they're putting themselves in the same level as people who put a lot of money and put a lot of time into their cosplays, like my Templar cosplay is like a high end one. You know what I
mean?
And I mean that's where I personally break down cosplayers into 3 categories. You've got the low income.
Yes.
The cash dolphins and then the cash whales. Now, granted, the cash
dolphins.
So when I say cash whales and cash dolphins, it's the same thing as
Oh,
like
Cash
mobile,
Dolphins. Never mind.
like
Nice.
games where there's pay mechanics behind it, like say Genshin.
Oh,
You've got the free to play players,
you wanna hear some
and
funny shit about that, Red. KitsuneCon actually put in rules to their cosplay contest to keep sandbagging because there was so many fuckers with high end cosplays that had like budgets behind them and actual companies behind them that entered in lower ranks and then medium ranks and higher ranks so that no one else had a chance to win anything. That they actually put in a rule that if you're judged to be masterclass, you're in masterclass. You're not gonna fucking sandbag these other people who are trying. And I
Hmm.
feel like I was part of that because um a lot of people actually complained the year that I was in the cosplay contest there that a lot of people are they're trying their damnedest, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
yeah, and it sucks not getting recognized for at least your attempt. But that's why I was saying, like, so when I say cash in that sense, I also mean by technique. Because I mean, for me, I would love to get in the cosplay world. I have the funds. I just don't do very well with artsy stuff.
Hmm.
So
Oh
in
yeah,
that
that's why
sense,
I'm usually representing a armory or I'm representing a company when I do cosplay. Like I was representing Look Sharp at one point, but like not so much representing, but I was a representation of what you could get at Look Sharp. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's
and
not like I had Look Sharp backing me in the contest. I was more or less like when I had on my cosplay paper when I was writing in. It's just like yeah, my cosplay is a good representation of what is currently available at Look Sharp. You know what I mean?
yeah, and so you've got
It's not like I got paid to enter the contest. It's not like I have had anything worked out with Look Sharp. It's just I wrote that in my sheet because it was the truth. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
If you're not making your own stuff, you talk about what's your representation or where you got from. So therefore, they can judge you accordingly on that.
Hmm. The other stuff from my weekend, nothing exciting. I do, and I'm hoping it goes well. I do potentially have a date on Valentine's Day, so I'm
Well,
excited for that. And
yeah.
she looks very
I'm
sweet, and
actually
I'm
I'm
excited for
actually
it. So,
this is less cute, but for everyone on my friends list, I'm actually sending them Valentine's Day gifts over Animal Crossing.
Oh,
oh,
that's
that's
sweet.
cute.
Yeah, because
No, that's really cute. I like that.
there's all these heart shaped bouquets and all these like chocolate hearts that you can send people. So I'm gonna send out a bunch of letters on Valentine's Day just for people who did or did not get a
It's
Valentine's Day.
really nice of you. I think that's really nice.
I've been mass stalking them. So also what I'm doing on the 14th is every person I do a deal with because I'm always on the trading servers. I'm also gonna
Mm-hmm.
drop off an additional Valentine's Day gift
Ah.
because I'm gonna have a thing where I'm gonna be giving away like star frags for like normal materials. That way I can get a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be
And
generous. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
cause
that's good.
last year for Valentine's Day I was at in Milwaukee, believe it or not, and
Hmm.
Oh.
I was with my buddy Eric, and I was just hanging around, and this girl walks up, and she actually gave me a Valentine's Day gift. You know what I mean? Then again, she was giving
Mm-hmm.
them out because she had a bunch of them. But it's like I was so
It
impressed
made
with
you
that
feel good.
that I was like, you know what? I'm actually so happy I got a Valentine's Day gift today. I want to make sure next year that I do the same thing for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have like honestly, I've been single on Valentine's every year since basically I started dating, except with my very first girlfriend.
I
And
no, I'm not gonna make that
honestly,
joke.
and
I'm not gonna cut you, Red.
bro, believe me, there's very little you can do to actually cut deep. But I'm at the point now where
Red roboted.
as a day off,
Red, you
and
roboted super hard.
of course I did.
A little
Once,
bit, yeah.
how about now?
Better.
All right, sorry about that, boys. Internet tends to be a little bit wacky. Anyhow, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I've honestly just viewed Valentine's Day as just an average day at this point. It
Mm-hmm.
because to me, holidays really only have meaning when you choose to put meaning behind it. Now,
Oh
obviously, if I
shit!
get
Exactly,
It's
in
the
a
yeah.
police.
relationship,
They're fucking coming to arrest us for this party being too hype. You probably can't hear that, but I could hear it through my window.
fun. Um, but like, and I mean, especially nowadays, like, I'm not flaming anyone that try to push too hard to get a Valentine's Day. And I mean, in the terms of the Euclidus, it's happening, you know, It's
Mhm.
not, mostly referring towards the people that post on like social media that are like, hey, no one's asked me to be my Valentine, who wants to? And then,
Mhm.
unfortunately, at that point, they may get a couple people that hit them up. And to me, that just seems more
Yeah, that's a
pity
little bit more
or
depressing, like a little
exactly.
saddening. Whereas for
I'm
me,
not
it was
gonna.
just I
I'm
just
not.
got lucky that
Yeah.
someone matched up with me on Tinder and we decided to hit it off, and Valentine's Day was
Oof. Be
coming.
careful with that one, buddy.
Oh,
That's
she
how
lives on
my last
campus
two
with me.
happened.
Well, she's on campus with me, so
All
Oh,
right. Well,
that'll be convenient.
yeah.
speaking of Valentine's Day and
What's up?
getting gifts and going on dates, we have to talk about today's sponsor.
Oh, yes.
So, this week on the Best of Nothing podcast, we are sponsored by McCabe's Old Oil House on Cybertron. McCabe's Old Oil House has been supplying Cybertron with high quality motor oil and energon for years and years and years on end. Being known as neutral ground, being Decepticon or Autobot, you can go in for a nice drink or just to talk about the war. Use the code Best of Nothing to get a nice drink at the counter from McCabe himself. Now, I personally love going to McCabe's Oil House. It's a great place to hang out with some giant ass robots.
Honestly, I enjoy it. It's got very nice scenery. Definitely odd shapes and sizes of all type of cons and bots going in, but you never know who you'll encounter.
Honestly, hanging out with the minicons is the best. If I'm being honest,
I mean,
they're the funnest crew to hang out with.
to be fair, they only tower us by a little bit.
Yeah, Cletus, you ever been around to Cybertron?
Oh, why don't you tell me about it?
Oh, Cybertron's cool. I mean, it's kind of difficult to move around because you always have to hitch a ride on another like transformer. But other than that, like it's a nice place. There's no trees there, but for some
Uh,
reason there's an atmosphere. So try figuring that shit out.
I mean, I could go into detail.
Yeah, but of course, use the code Best of Nothing on Valentine's Day for a free drink.
Enjoy it, folks. You never know what you'll truly find.
Yeah, maybe you'll get lucky and find a nice transformer to date. Happy Valentine's Day, folks.
Valentine's Day.
It's actually kind of funny because this will go up on Valentine's Day.
Nice.
Hey!
Hey.
It'll go up on the 14th. All right
Anyhow,
then.
so, uh, oh yeah, do you want me to start off my week?
Yeah.
Yep.
Start off
Don't
your
say
week,
much
and we have
about
to get
that.
on to our subject topics.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I can make it pretty quick. So I returned back from Mexico. It was a 6-day trip on Tuesday night. Now, for the most part, I genuinely did enjoy the trip. It was a great time. I was able to catch up on a lot of rest. I felt great coming back, minus the fact that I drank the water there, and I had a little too much to drink to begin with. So, and most sickness on top of that. So that's always all fun. Not to mention the flight sucked so much. But other than that, it was a fantastic trip and I enjoyed
What's the
it.
water taste
And
like in Mexico?
water.
But you just made a big deal about drinking the water there.
It's because not all of it is filtered, buddy.
Uh,
And bear in mind, when you go to different locations, there's going to be different types of bacteria within said water that your body hasn't grown used to because you haven't been drinking it. Like, for
that's
example,
when I
the
went to
tap.
California, my sister warned me about drinking the water out of the tap there and said you're probably not
Go on.
supposed to. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's like, yeah, the water's really hard here. And I'm like, okay, so you can't drink the water out of the tap. Great.
Essentially. And I mean, that's where I went wrong. Like, even the tap water, there's a mass tap water difference between from where I live right now compared to a city called Park City. Because it's up in the mountains, it's legit just straight spring water they get. So it's very clean. It's very, honestly, it's the best tasting water I've ever had in my life, straight out of tap from up there. But,
We have good water
whereas
up here in
down,
Wisconsin. Very clear, very clean.
yeah, I can't say the same down here.
Good
At
to
least, at
hear,
least,
but
at
I
least we're
avoid
not.
it.
At least we're not in Colorado, which they still don't have clean drinking water.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's been
But,
what, like 5, 6 years?
Yeah.
can't say I'm too surprised, honestly. But, what else was there? Oh, yeah. Other than that, my week has been very chilled, very relaxed. I only worked one day since I got back Tuesday. I had Wednesday off to deal with the motion sickness, the jet lag, all that good stuff. Worked Thursday. Today I had off, but today started off great, honestly. Like, I am in the best mood I've been in for a hot minute. Woke up this morning, had a nice morning coffee, was able to speak to my roommate. It was great. Following that, had some next level god tier gotcha RNG. Always love that to start off the day. Then went out to
Man,
try out
I
a.
gotta get into Genshin, even though I don't want to.
I promise it's worth it.
Do it right
I
now.
fought
You said
so
that about
hard.
Destiny, and we still have not played Destiny since.
You gotta hit me up, dude. I don't know when you're available.
Fair.
Yeah.
Like, I'm available whenever. It's you that kind of has a odd schedule.
I work.
So do I.
I don't. I'm just a lazy
I
fucker that thinks too much.
I don't.
I mean, I babysit, but not until the summer. So
God, I love you, Cletus.
Dude, I heard you get
But,
paid for babysitting one night. Like, who the fuck do you babysit that you make $200 in one night?
To
I
be
make
honest,
15
that's
an hour. For
Huh?
clarification, I make
that's
$15
roughly
an
about the
hour.
average wage, honestly. And
Oh.
to be
Yeah.
honest, it's actually cheaper for them to have him babysit for 15 an hour, which is good compared to them
Mhm.
drop. Like, you ever seen how much a daycare is?
No.
Yeah.
Honestly, there are times where it's honestly cheaper for a parent to be stay at home and only have one work than for both working to cover for daycares.
Damn.
hmm
Like, that's how expensive they are. So
Yeah, and the
being
thing is, the kids are easy to take care of. There's one that just sticks in her room all the time because she's like 9 and just very shut in. Then you have one that's independent, but he likes to play outside a lot with his friends. I don't even need to worry about him. And then I have one that's all over me that I constantly entertain. She's like 5, so that's the only one I'm really needing to take care of. So it's a very easy job for
That
me.
reminds me of the Game Grumps. What was it? They had an animated where they talked about Dan hiring some babysitter to watch like some like paper doll, and then the babysitter would just legitimately be like, all right, I get paid by the hour. And I was thinking about that situation that if I was like babysitting someone, they're like, "This is Kevin," and it's just like some kind of like paper mache like person. I'd be like, "Okay, yeah, I'm gonna fucking watch your Netflix account."
this is Rocky. He doesn't move much, but you got to keep an eye on him.
If you take your eye off of him, it'll be the last thing you will regret.
But what was I saying? On top of that, I tried out a different restaurant, Who Hot. If you have one near
Mm.
you, I can't recommend it enough. It is that good.
What
Damn
I
near
can
went
what
into
I
a
can
food coma.
what I can suggest is Jersey Mike's. Like, I've been living off of that stuff for like the last month.
Funny you mentioned that. On the airport on my way home, that's actually what we got from there.
Jersey Mike's
Very
is
good.
good.
It's just, I think their sandwiches are a bit small for the price.
Small.
Okay, here's some context. There's a place out by me located in Salt Lake City called the Grove Market. It's just a little like gas station looking place, but they have a sandwich shop in there. And these are Mongo level sandwiches. Like, seriously, they're bigger than my keyboard, and I'm rocking the fucking Razer. What is it? If I could find the name, it's like the Razer Huntsman that has like the
I still
number
say
pad.
that Jersey Mike's is the only sub place for me now. Like, I don't know if
Oh,
I never liked Jimmy John's. Subway
Oh.
used to be the only thing for me, but now, like, I feel like Jersey Mike's is the only one left.
I used to like Subway, and then their $5 subs were no longer $5,
Yeah.
and then the quality in their ingredients started declining rapidly.
And how the face of the company was kicked off for various reasons.
Yes. So honestly, I don't really care much behind the morals of a company. If I like their stuff, I'm gonna continue doing it.
Well,
I
yeah,
seriously,
obviously, of course. Like, what one person in that company doesn't affect. Like, if you told me tomorrow that the owner of Brookside like cheated on his wife and ran off and embezzled a bunch of money, I'm still gonna buy Brookside like dark chocolate like blueberries. That shit's great.
and I mean out here we have Chick-fil-A, and Chick-fil-A is very
Yeah.
homophobic, and so people are like, "Oh, I'll never go to Chick-fil-A." Okay, more chicken sandwiches for me.
More
I
for
love
me,
it.
It's like-
motherfucker.
It's like who cares about what the people at the top think? The people that are working there don't even give much of a shit either. They're just
You
wanting to
think
work
you
there.
think
So
anybody that works at Chick-fil-A is like fucking
They don't
these
get paid
guys
enough to care.
again? Like, no, they do not care. You think anyone that works at McDonald's cares about what McDonald's thinks? They're there for the money.
exactly. So
Money.
like
Yeah,
We need the
but
money. Where is it?
we need the money. We need the money, or again.
No, no,
speaking
it's
of
Arthur that says that, not Dutch.
speaking
Yeah,
of sandwich
Dutch
shops,
now.
to me with the hierarchy, I also
Hmm.
tried like Firehouse Subs. I love their sandwiches. A little small as well, very expensive. That's why I don't go there very much.
Firehouse is really expensive. Like, we have one over
Like
here,
it
and
was
it's
$30 for me to get a pulled pork sandwich with mac and cheese.
yeah, like it's
That's
like
Pretty
outrageous.
ridiculous.
okay. Here's the thing about Firehouse. They have a good variety of subs, like of different subs to get, but they're so expensive.
And I mean, not just that, it does taste delicious. I think it's phenomenal. It's just I can't
Yeah, but is it worth
justify.
it?
That's what I'm getting to.
Like
Is I
around
can't
here,
justify thirty
the
dollars
only
for it.
burger places for me that exist anymore are Wendy's, Five Guys, and Red Robin. Which I want to say, Red Robin, the people that work at Red Robin have been total assholes lately.
I mean, to be fair, it's not like anyone's been in a good mood recently.
Fair.
Especially with Valentine's rounding around the corner. All the single people
I'm
that
not
are
even saying
working on Valentine's are gonna be salty.
this is a few months ago, and I didn't want to bring this up in the podcast, but I was thinking about this the other day, and then my friend actually a friend at work actually told me this happened to him, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with the Red Robin around here? And okay, so okay, let me ask you guys a question.
Hmm.
Mm.
You know how we have these pickup things now in COVID, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
You order your food, you drive up, they give it to you contactless, they put it in through your window, you get
Yeah.
charged, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
They
you
throw it?
tip for that?
No.
Um, I wasn't just because it's not an actual restaurant. I didn't assume you tip for a fast food.
No,
So,
no, no. Red
uh,
Robin is a restaurant.
So
okay.
like
I've not really gotten food from a restaurant like that, so no, I can't say I tipped.
for me, like if it's here's the way I view it. If it's a drive-through, okay, I'm not
Hmm.
gonna tip someone through the drive-through.
It's Red Robin isn't a drive-through though. It's a restaurant. It's a sit-down restaurant.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you say that like you drive up, you grab a contactless, and you leave, right? You're not eating in the restaurant. They're not
Yes.
actively
Yeah.
catering and
What
serving to
what
you,
I had
right?
done?
That's right. They don't need tips for that. All they're doing is bringing food out to you, so they're not doing any extra
Exactly.
work deserving
You
of the
tip.
tips.
You mostly tip the waiter, all right?
Yes,
So
but
Yeah.
if there's no waiter, they don't get a tip.
okay. When I was getting ready to when I was made to leave, when I was getting ready to leave the parking lot, I overheard the girl very loudly enough so I know that she was trying to make me hear it. She said, "He didn't tip." And I'm like, "Excuse you?" But she was already inside the building before I could say anything, and I just drove away in a huff because I'm like, I'm not supposed to tip. What? Did you didn't wait on me? I called, I made the order, you guys gave me my food, and I'm leaving. If it was like an Eat Street thing, or if I was calling for like Uber Eats, of course you tip the driver as long as it arrives on
Yes,
Yeah.
time and
and I mean,
intact. But like, why would you expect someone to tip if they're just picking up food?
and that's what I'm saying is like the point of tipping is to primarily go towards the waiters and waitresses since they don't make a lot of money. All right, the
Hmm.
people in the back that are actually cooking, they got a pay raise in comparison. That's why they don't really see much of the tip.
Yeah,
You tip the waiters and the waitresses. Unfortunately, that sucks for them that because of COVID, they're not getting very many tips, and that's unfortunate. Everyone's been taking an L in pay because of COVID. For
everyone
Christ's
has. I
sake, my
mean,
company lost about 50K because of it. All right, so believe me, everyone's feeling it. But
Well, to be fair, I'm making more money than I've ever been making, so
okay, there are exceptions, Cletus. But as I was
yeah.
saying, like, it's mostly just the fact that I understand why they're upset. However, if you're going to be that type of employee to voice your opinions loud enough to be intentionally heard, you don't deserve a tip. If you
yeah,
are working and just dropping food on the front freaking porch, of your restaurant where I'm not even sitting down eating, you're not catering to me, why the hell should I tip you? You're
exactly.
Hmm.
And
doing
which is
the
essentially what I
bare
was doing.
minimum of your job.
I was actually driving back from my doctor's, which to my doctor's is about a half hour away from where I live. And I went to my appointment, got my new glasses. I was driving, and I was actually talking to the doctors, and I'm like, the eye doctor, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna eat tonight. And I was having a lovely conversation with her, and she's like, what about burger? And I'm like, yeah, I'll have a burger. And then I was like, but what good burger places are there? And she's like, well, there's a Five Guys around here. And I'm like, yeah, but I have to drive back home. And then she's like, oh yeah, it'd be cold by that time. And I'm like, there is a Red Robin on the way home. And then she's like, Red Robin's good. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get Red Robin. Like, that's what I love about my doctors. My doctors are all so chill, and they're all like so like they'll have those conversations with you. They're not all business. But as I was saying, um, like, so I ordered ahead of time. I called in the parking lot of my doctor's, and I'm like, "Hey, can I get this and this, and like, can I get one of these as well?" And they're like, "Yeah, we'll have that ready for you in about a half hour." So I drive down there, pick it up. I was made to leave. I was literally making sure the food was secure, and then I literally had to like turn my car back on when I heard her say that, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
And
yeah,
so, with
That's a
that,
tough.
like,
Hmm.
I don't know. Like, believe me, I hold myself, my father, and my employee that we have to a high standard in the fact of how we are. Now, granted, that is mostly towards the owners. Tenants, no, we don't. We're not very polite to them because they're not polite to us. We have a firm belief in they are not our actual customer. The owners and the parent company we work alongside with are. And because of that, I have informed them if a tenant's going to be a douche canoe to you,
which you
feel
now have,
free.
which you now have the okay for concealed carries now. So
Yep. Thank you. Whoo, buddy. I'm going to enjoy
thank you,
that.
Utah, right?
I mean, I would say his name, but I'm not going to for the time being. Anyhow, so that makes me happy, and it's going to
What,
make me feel
Jesus?
better. Cox.
Excuse me?
That's his little name, COX. Yep, he's the one
That's
that signed it
so
saying we're good to go.
that's so unfortunate.
Just the pause with that. So,
I mean,
oh
the
my
funny
god.
thing is I did some background research. Turns out he's related to a wrestling coach I had. His name
You
was
know,
also
you
Cox.
know what, what I feel bad about, because there's that guy in the Green Bay Packers. His name is Haha Clinton Dix, and I'm like, what? Why? That's so unfortunate.
Oh man. But yeah, so I don't know. Like when it comes to like tipping, I I prefer to tip at every meal. And
Mhm.
at
Of
the
course,
bear,
if they don't
I
make
have a
money, of
scale.
course they tip. Of course you tip if they don't make money,
And
cause you
so I have
have
a
to.
scale where the absolute minimum I will tip for terrible service, like you left me there hanging with an empty drink for, I don't know, over half the meal, or, I'm not going to get upset with you if you bring me the wrong thing unless you wrote down the wrong thing. Okay. So
Mhm.
because of that, I start out usually at about 10% even across the board.
I
If they
had
make me happy, if they have a
Pretty
conversation
good.
with me, after that, obviously I expect them. If it's busy, I'm not gonna expect them to do that. But if it's not busy and they have a conversation, I'm seeing how the day going and things are going great, I'm gonna increase it up to usually 20% is the highest I will go
Oh,
unless they're
you're a
phenomenal.
good tipper. Yeah,
I'm very generous in tipping in general. That's one thing my parents taught me. Now,
that's
if
good.
they're an ass or they make me honestly just not enjoy the experience, I'll drop that to 5%. I've only ever once not tipped someone because the experience was that bad. And that was because I don't know what was up with this dude. Like, for real. He made this was at an Applebee's, okay?
Of course it was at an Applebee's.
Welcome to
And it sucks because I
Applebee's.
actually love Applebee's. I love their stuff
Applebee's
so much.
Applebee's is the Here's the thing about Applebee's. Great hangout. Not the best food in the world, but a great hangout for the
I actually
boys.
love their food, to be honest.
I
Really?
love their food too. Yeah,
Well,
Especially
here's the
their
thing. They're
appetizers.
okay, that's the thing. The appetizers are good. I wouldn't say their food is the greatest, but
I love the ribs though.
I would rather go to Sprecker's or Famous Dave's for a rib. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I as much as I want to say I'd like, so Famous Dave screwed up my order numerous times. That's why I no longer like Famous Dave's because they failed to get it right. Same with Sonic actually. Sonic has yet there's a Sonic out by me. They've never once got my order
But
right.
I actually have a horror story.
What's up?
I was pretty young, but I had ordered something at a restaurant, and they had brought the wrong thing out twice. And it wasn't like, oh, they forgot a side or something. No, they brought out the wrong plate of food twice.
Ooh.
I
Ooh.
had ordered a I was young. I can't quite remember what I ordered, but I remember like I remember at one point like I had ordered something, right? And they
Mm-hmm.
had brought out the seafood plate first, and I didn't order any seafood. Then the next time they brought out this salad. I didn't order a salad either. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
I remember that my mom and dad were like talking about they were like, what the fuck's wrong with the server? You know what I mean? The third time they
Mhm.
came back, they finally brought out my food though. But I remember my mom saying that you still have to tip though. My dad's like, yeah, but they brought the wrong food out twice, and we were still there because I hadn't eaten yet.
Mhm.
We were in the Dells. I can't remember. I'll have to call my mom up and actually ask her, like, um, what restaurant that was and what it was. But I remember they were like, I was like confused because I was like, what the hell? What the hell is this? I didn't ask for any seafood because, like, I know what you're thinking. Like, what was it? Like fish sticks? Like, no, it was just an entire ass fish. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that was the only time I ever remember like my dad like not actually properly tipping. You know what I mean? Or having
Mhm.
a reduced tip, I should say.
My dad tries to tip a good amount all the time, and even if they're not doing well, because he and I agree that well, we don't know what's going on their end, so they might have a bad day, or they might not just be doing well, or they might be new or something. So we
But
try to just not think
And I
about it
mean,
too much.
the funny thing you mentioned that is, so even when it comes to drive-throughs, obviously I don't tip drive-throughs. Instead, what I normally do is
because they
I
have a
ask them how
paycheck.
their exactly. What I normally do is I actually ask them how their day's been. I
Mhm.
ask them what you got planned for tonight or for the weekend. Hopefully something fun. And
Mhm.
if they say, "Oh no, I'm gonna be doing here," I'll crack some jokes with them to try to make their day.
Yo,
I'm a per
is the ice cream machine broken? Yes, it is. Understandable. Have a nice day.
What I try to give them at least a little something extra because I know while I was, you know,
Mhm.
in the Marine Corps, very few times do I actually get a nice conversation, and just getting one from the hundreds of dipshits I've encountered seriously would
Mhm.
make my entire day. So that's
You
how
have
I view
no
it.
idea clean tables because I was being paid really. I was being paid $2 an hour, whatever shitty ass tips they would give me, which was bullshit.
Hey,
'Cause I'm
join
the
the
only
club,
one.
brother.
I'm the only one who's cleaning the entire fucking restaurant. And no one was giving me any gratitude. So whenever a waitress gave me like $1 or $2 extra, it just made my day. Like it just made me feel good. And whenever I would clean up
Here's
someone's table and they said that I did a great job, it made my day. I
Here's
just
the
felt so
funny thing
happy.
about my current work. We actually get tips, but they aren't distributed evenly. We have this giant ass tip jar, and if you want to get something from a vending machine, you just take money out of this tip jar. Just as long as you're not going fucking crazy over it. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I kind of like that.
Oh,
Like,
Like,
that's
obviously, you're not
interesting.
taking home money, but it makes it so if you want a
because
snack, you can get a
we
snack.
get tips from people who like because like we load up their cars, we load up their things. You know what I mean? And people want to give us
Hmm.
tips. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Like one day we got such a heavy tip that everyone got $10. It was that crazy because the order was gigantic. It was like a
Nice.
500-piece order, and the person wanted to tip everyone who picked on it, and I picked for that order. So everyone who picked on that, we got like an extra $10 for that order, which was really cool.
Nice.
I think the
Yeah.
most generous tip I've ever given was, let's see here, where were we eating at? Oh, so we were eating at a Chili's, and it was just me and
Hi, welcome
who
to
was
Chili's.
who
I
was it?
beat you to it.
Okay. So I was at Chili's and I was eating there with one of my buddies, and we were chilling out. And there was this really cute waitress that came around, and it seemed like she
Mm.
was limping. So I asked her, is everything all right? She said, "Yeah, I just injured my leg
Why
the
the
other
fuck
day."
are we still talking about tipping? We gotta start talking about Godzilla versus Kong.
Well, allow me to finish this
Fine.
because it'll warm up someone's day at least.
I just looked at the timer. We've been talking about tipping for about a half
I
hour.
want to hear. I want to hear the story. So let's get through the story at
I'm
least.
not saying we're not gonna hear the story, but I'm just like I'm shocked. We've been talking about
After
tipping
this,
for a
I'm
half
down to
hour.
drop Godzilla talk.
Yeah.
So anyhow, and she was saying how she got injured recently and she's upset because she was still in high school. And mind you, this is only about a year or two ago. So I was out of high school, she was still in, and she was talking about how she can no longer do track because it screwed up her leg that bad. And I was asking her, well, do you have anything going on? Are you at least finding some way to enjoy each day? She says, unfortunately, it's being a little rough because of the fact that she's still trying to figure out how to help her parents pay for the surgery because I guess the medical bill didn't cover as much as they were or their health insurance wasn't going to cover as
Welcome
much
to
as
the
they thought.
American healthcare system.
So we went there for and I felt terrible for her. So when she brought back the receipt, it was only like $30 because I paid for the both of us. Me and my buddy, we usually alternate who pays for lunch, right? And I ended up leaving her a $300 tip, and I wrote on it, "I hope this will help you a little bit." So I ended up paying 10 times the amount that meal costed to try to help her with her surgery. And me and my father try to at least once a year give someone a fat tip or a donation to some people that need it. Like last year, we
You
actually
want to be
gave.
careful about that. My grandfather
I'm very.
my grandfather once did that, and he got super pissed because one of the other waiters actually took the tip off the table and replaced it with another table's tip, and it was the most scummiest fucking thing I've ever.
That's
He
why
said
I
he
do
ever
it
saw.
from my card directly on the receipt.
Yeah, but my grandpa said that this happened. Like, this was back in the day when like cards weren't that prevalent. You know what I mean?
I know that's why I'm not too concerned about it. And I mean,
Yeah.
even with like I said, last year we actually donated about $500 to help pay for this little girl who got. I can't remember what was wrong, but something happened to her jaw, and she was having really bad. Her teeth got all messed up, her jaw got messed up, and she was having really self-conscious. She was feeling really bad about herself, and I guess some of the kids were bullying her at school. She's only like 5 years old. So we
Oh,
actually donated $500 to help her family cover for her dental for her surgery that was about to happen a few.
so
So
sweet.
we try to go out of our way to help as many people as possible, and even in we try to donate as much as we can afford to help other people. Now
Hmm.
that may sound funny considering my own views on helping people in general, but I'm a firm believer in helping those that are in need because of a situation that occurred outside of their control.
Yeah,
That's the difference. So uh,
that's
we
really
tr-
nice.
we don't help a lot of people, but we do what we can with few people as much as possible, and that's
Hmm.
kind of the mentality we have. Anyhow, so now that we're done with the wholesome, gushy feeling talks, who's down to talk about some Godzilla?
Um, or as much as I
I
know
actually
about Godzilla.
rewatched Godzilla versus Megalon recently.
Ooh, I not long ago watched Shin Godzilla. Ooh,
I was about to mention that that's the only Godzilla I know the most out of because I just love the soundtrack for and the design of Shin Godzilla.
honestly, I'm not gonna lie, Shin Godzilla is on a different level. Oh
And
my
dude,
god!
if they hadn't beaten it at the last second, oh, it would have evolved into like mini human Godzillas pretty
Not
much. 'Cause-
well, it had a because it was in it. It had five forms that they confirmed.
Mhm.
It's just the reason why they didn't include the fifth form is because apparently it was going to be too horrific to show on the screen. That's
Oh
why they didn't
wow,
include it. And
really?
yeah,
Okay,
and I mean, I got to see what it was, and oh my god, dude, it's basically a xenomorph mixed with Godzilla is what it looks like.
that's what I was thinking.
That's
Yeah,
why. That's why I'm glad because I don't like the xenomorph design.
I- I'm not a huge
I
fan of
love
it,
him.
but I thought it was unique considering Shin Godzilla itself is a very unique continuity of Godzilla, and I loved it. The fact that he was able to adapt so quickly to deal with things, and I
It's
mean,
hard.
Godzilla in general is just an absolute unit, especially
I would still say that Shin Godzilla is great mainly just because of his design. Like fuck the movie entirely. The design is what what gets me about the design is that he actually I forget the name of the creator, but designed it off of the nuclear scarring off of the
Mhm.
victims of the Nagasaki attack. And he went over hundreds and hundreds of photos of people who had like nuclear burns on their skin and the victims who didn't make it where they were just like burnt husks, and
Mhm.
that's what he designed the skin off of.
Yeah, like
Mm.
honestly, it's like Burning Godzilla is also in a league of his own, and the 2014 Godzilla King of the
You
Monsters,
mean
where
legendary Godzilla, because that's his official name, is the legendary Godzilla.
yeah, that one, like
Ooh,
I would
and they
say that the legendary Godzilla is like the I I don't know. I don't want to say it's the Adonis of Godzilla forms because like Godzilla from Godzilla Wars is actually a pretty sick I would say that that's the Adonis of like the classic Godzilla's design, but if you're
mhm.
going to make a new Godzilla, like legendary
Oh
Godzilla is
yeah,
the best.
Legendary Godzilla looks clean. However, I'm not gonna lie. I think Shin Godzilla is one of the more powerful forms, just because of how quickly he can adapt.
It's not so much of how
Mm-hmm.
quickly he can adapt, though. I mean, put him up against King Ghidorah, and Shin Godzilla is not as strong as you would think he is. You know what I mean?
at the
He
beginning.
seems he seems strong. I'm talking about final form here.
That's the
You
thing, though.
forget Ghidorah's size and Ghidorah's abilities. You know what I mean? Remember,
No, I'm taking
Ghidorah's
that into
Problem.
account
That's the thing. Shin Godzilla constantly adapts, so he doesn't
to the
exactly have a
situation.
technical final form in the sense.
Yeah,
He'll
they're
just
only
adapt
saying
to
he
whatever he's
had a
Yeah,
given.
final
but
form because at
what
that
you have to realize about Ghidorah is that Ghidorah is actually bigger than Godzilla and has the abilities to actually hurt Godzilla in many, many different ways. The fact is that only 3 kaijus have ever made Godzilla bleed, and that's Ghidorah, Gigan, and God, what was his name?
oh, I think it
Biollante.
was. The thing
You say the
is,
plant one.
Yeah, yeah.
the
The Biollante, Gigan, and King Ghidorah are the only
I like
kaijus that
violence.
ever
Yeah.
made Godzilla bleed.
and I mean the thing is though, it's here's where the size doesn't matter that much to Shin Godzilla. He grew throughout the movie.
Yeah,
He
but
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that large in the beginning,
the
but as
thing
time
is,
grew
you
on,
have to remember
so did
that
he.
also they froze him. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Which
However,
also proves that he can die.
oh yeah, he can certainly die. And Godzilla himself can die
Because
as well.
he wasn't able to adapt to the ice, was he?
You're right.
Shin Godzilla, though. That's what you're
But
saying.
what I'm saying is, do you think Ghidorah would think smart enough on his feet to somehow freeze him?
Ghidorah's actually super fucking smart.
You're
Like
right, he is.
all Ghidorah would have to do is just pick him up and drop him into the ice water that is the Atlantic, or not the Atlantic, but that is Antarctica, and he'd freeze.
You're right, but keep in mind that would be Shin Godzilla adapting to Ghidorah. That's not him adapting to humans. That's the difference. Like that's why Shin Godzilla, I think, could honestly
You're
take on
really in Shin Godzilla's camp, aren't you?
here's
We
why.
are because
Adaptability, especially at the rate that he's growing, is
mm-hmm.
something that is borderline unparalleled. The
Yeah, but
only chance that
It's
he
within a
has
to
of
the
whole
losing,
day.
biomechanics of the Tyranids. Like, you know, being able to adapt does not mean you can withstand everything. You know what I mean?
but that's
But
the
it
thing.
gives you
If it
such
doesn't kill him
flexibility.
immediately,
Mm-hmm.
it's picture Doomsday from DC, all right?
Doomsday, you don't get to mention Doomsday because you literally can't kill Doomsday.
Because he keeps on adapting to what killed him last.
No. Oh, wait, yeah, Doomsday. Yeah, yeah. I thought you were talking about Darkseid.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm talking about literal
I was
Doomsday.
like, you don't get to talk about Darkseid because Darkseid can't die.
But like it's the same sense. That's why Doomsday is so dangerous. They have to change how to kill him. If it doesn't kill Shin Godzilla, he will adapt to it. Mind you, he
Yeah,
went
but
from breathing
you're
water to
also
air in a day.
You're also
That's how
like
quick he was adapting.
drastically underestimating the power of other kaiju's. I guarantee you, if Shin Godzilla were to go up against certain kaiju's from the other from the Toho universe, he would lose hands down.
No,
Like
Chan,
you put Shin Godzilla against the speed of King Caesar, he'd lose.
And that's what I'm
Chan.
saying is
Here, let me paraphrase so both sides work. If King Ghidorah doesn't kill Shin Godzilla fast enough, over time Shin Godzilla will
bingo.
eventually go on top of him. But if Ghidorah knows to kill him fast and quick as
Which
possible, he will win then.
Which as
It
we've
just
seen,
depends on how long the fight goes.
Ghidorah is actually known to be smarter than Godzilla,
he
like
tends
hands
to
down.
But he still
you're right,
lost
he's
though.
smarter. But the problem is that Ghidorah likes to play with his food. He doesn't like to kill immediately.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
Except for that one time he fought Space Godzilla.
Yes, that's where we lead into different continuity areas, and that's kind of where another thing you got to bear in mind is it's the same thing as when you
Or that
compare
one time King Ghidorah teamed up with Mothra.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying is there's different
That's another
continuities.
story in and of itself. Fucking hell.
Yeah, no
But
kidding.
anyways, we're done talking about. We're not supposed to be talking about Shin Godzilla. We're supposed to be talking about Godzilla versus Kong. God damn it.
I thought you said we were gonna hold off on that.
No, we're supposed to be talking about that.
All right, well, for everyone that at home that says King Kong will beat Zilla, that ain't happening. All right, the sheer
Fucking out of your
radiation
mind.
Because
Godzilla,
we're not you're wrong on that side too. They're not even there's not going to be a declared winner. The movie's going to end with them teaming up against a bigger bad because that's just how these team up these versus
but that's
movie
the thing.
goes.
They actually did state they intend to have a clear winner.
They're not.
They dead ass said they're gonna have a clear winner.
They're
However,
lying.
let it sink in this way. It's going to be here's how it's gonna be. They legit posted about it and they said this is how this is gonna go. the two are going to fight. It's going to be like Superman versus Batman. There was a clear winner, and then they got to team up to fight a big bad. We saw a glimpse of what is potentially Mecha Godzilla. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. If it's Mecha Godzilla that the two of them got to fight, that'll be interesting.
I would
'Cause-
prefer. I would prefer if it. I would prefer rather than having Mechagodzilla. I would love Space Godzilla to be the thing, and then to have Jet
Mhm.
Jaguar join in the fight, just like Wonder Woman came in for that one. It's just like, what the fuck? It's a stupid robot. It's Jet Jaguar.
But like again, when it comes to
That's all I want. Legendary. Just bring back Jet Jaguar. Japan doesn't care anymore.
and so I mean, I sat there and I seriously thought of, all right, what are the advantages, pros and cons between the two of advantages? Taking away the fact that the sheer amount of radiation that Godzilla gives
And
off,
forget and
especially
forget the
in
and
Legendary
forget the
gives off.
whole forgetting the whole monkey meme.
Exactly. Like the radiation alone would kill King Kong if he got too close.
This
Like,
version
seriously.
this version of Godzilla doesn't radiate radiation like the original did though.
But
He
anyhow,
for sure like gives it off, but it's not to the point where he can like, irradiate an entire block just with his presence.
yeah. So anyhow, regarding that, so in terms of like raw strength, King Kong actually is not that far behind due to his size. Now, in terms of actual combative experience against other kaijus, Godzilla takes that with no competition. The biggest, baddest thing King Kong has ever had to actually fight,
Skull crawlers.
bingo. And look how well that worked out. He seriously had to use everything.
Turned him into iguana soup.
And then Godzilla killed King frickin' Ghidorah, for Christ's sake.
King Ghidorah, yep.
Now, in terms of sheer resilience, Monkey Boy died in 1930s airplanes.
Yeah.
Like,
I was about to say that, everyone's like, oh, Kong's gonna win, Zilla's gonna win, Kong, and I'm like, neither's gonna win. They're just gonna team up. That's how these versus movies go.
we're gonna see a clear winner.
They are
However,
lying, Red. I don't know how else to tell you this. They're lying. Was there a clear winner?
Do you want me to
Batman
fish it up?
v
I will fish it up right now.
Oh yes,
for evidence.
fish it up for the audio listeners, Red. That's such a good
I
idea.
will read it out while I'm at it. Hold up.
Red, come on. Don't do this.
I'm doing it.
Oh my god, Red, I don't want to cut this out.
Fine. I just want you to know you can't disclarify if you don't want me to show the evidence.
He's kind of got a point there.
I still say send it to me then. Send it to me. I'll look it over and I'll determine whether or not they're lying.
All right, bet. I'll do it. But
all right,
anyhow,
while Red's on his escapade.
I'll take care of that
Cletus.
later. But
Yeah.
anyway,
No, get it up now if you want to fucking do this.
What's up?
Godzilla's gonna win that.
Cletus, what do you
Yep.
think?
Oh, damn.
I agree with the whole fucking idea that it's gonna be, oh, they're gonna fight. There's clearly gonna be a winner, but then they're just gonna team up, and then there's gonna be some shit.
Just like Batman
together
versus
on stuff.
Superman.
I still say that there's they never give you a clear answer. You know what I mean? And also, we knew Batman was gonna win from the first Batman v Superman comic. It
Oh
was
yeah,
no
because they gave him
surprise.
plot armor
You know what I mean?
and literal
Mhm.
armor.
Forget everything you know about Batman v Superman from that shitty movie. Like, okay, it wasn't that shitty, but still.
I don't know, man. It was kind of
Never, ever has there been a universe besides the infamous, or was it no, besides Injustice, where Superman won against Batman.
That's because that just leads into a whole issue why I despise DC as a whole. Honestly, like, you mean to tell me someone who is a literal god who can destroy planets loses to a multi-billionaire with all sorts of mental issues in a bat suit?
Yeah.
Who enlists the help of 10-year-olds?
To be fair, Batman isn't fucking using 10-year-olds against Superman.
Let's be real. He would if he did in that continuity. I mean, hell, he did it in Injustice. They just were growing up a little bit. But
anyways,
yeah,
where's
like,
this proof, Red?
I told you I'd find it after the fucking discussion.
I said get it up now.
All right, fine, fuck it.
Fucking shitter's gonna be talking about all this shit. I want to see the proof. Show me the deets. Give me the receipts.
I'll give you the goddamn Let's see here. Boom. All right, and it is here. We're gonna pull this up. Just gonna double check. Yep. So unfortunately, this is a bit dated. However, it is still by
When
the
was it
very people
from?
make. It is by the Godzilla vs. King Kong director Adam Wingard has stated that there will be a
When was it from, Escanor?
August 19th, 2017 when they first announced they
Oh
were doing
my
the damn movie.
god!
They
So much could
announced
have
it.
changed since then.
All right, fine. I'll see if I can find more up-to-date shit. Let's see here. Let's check this real quick.
Using such like that's like 4 years old, Red.
Hey man, he hasn't said shit about there not being there. Okay, let's hear. Let's see if I can pull. I think this is it I'm looking for as well.
Like, you know how much changed the Jurassic 4 direct? Like when that was released back in, like, I don't even fucking remember when they first teased Jurassic 4. Back when the movie didn't even have a fucking director.
All right. Here's this one from, if I can get this fucking thing out of my face, January 25th, 2021. Ready to hear this? I do want there to be a winner, Adam Wingard, who directed the
I
film.
do want there to be a winner. That doesn't mean there's going to be.
He also stated, all right here. Sorry, my bad. I scrolled up to the wrong part. All right. The powers that have been stated that this film will not be a remake of 1962's King Kong vs. Godzilla, in which the battle between the giants ended in a tie. Boom.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't trust film directors, especially with
I
stuff
don't
like
trust it
this.
either, but hey, it'll be a nice surprise.
If
I would be
if there's an
honestly,
actual genuine winner, I'll actually properly say that. Okay, I was surprised when we do our round table of that movie, but
cool.
like, I'll say that I'm genuinely surprised they had the balls to do it. But as it is, I don't think they have the balls to actually say that there's a winner. They didn't. They
I
didn't in
think they
Batman v
do.
Superman.
I think they do. The only reason why Batman v Superman.
The only way there's going to be a winner declared if one dies.
Nope. It could go to an incapacitation.
No,
Which unfortunately, if
that's the
that.
problem with these versus movies.
But here's
If
the
there's a
thing.
winner, the other one has to die.
Nope. You don't win a fight by killing the opponent, now do you? You win the fight by
Make him
When they're
incapacitating them as
fucking
well.
animals, you do.
Nope.
What? If Godzilla let Ghidorah live, would he have won that fight? No. Ghidorah would have came
Actually,
back.
yeah, if he let him live, meaning he had the power to end him if he wanted to, but he chose to let him live, he walked away winning that fight.
When I watched Godzilla vs. Megalon, and Godzilla broke Megalon's legs, like, that's different from winning the fight. Like, sure, they won the day, but at the same time, that's going to be another problem later.
You're right, but here's the thing. You mean to tell me that the two of them duking it out, fighting on top of helicarriers, going apeshit, especially since the way that they were showing the trailer, they gave the monkey plot armor, basically. That's what I'm concerned of.
They gave
Because
the monkey
Godzilla's,
plot armor by beefing him up to the crazy size they did already.
they did explain as to why, and as much as I do admit it, I kind of see why.
I mean,
So
I will say, when I watched Skull Island, then they explained it. I'm like, okay, fair. But when it
he's still
comes to
growing,
this
yeah.
movie, I don't honestly believe that there's going to be a winner. I don't. I just don't. And I don't know why you're defending your point on this so hard, Red.
Because it came from the director itself. Now, granted, I could be wrong because he chose to mislead people, or shit could change because someone with more money and higher power than him could say different. However,
Now
at
you're
the
covering
time
your
being,
ass.
actually, no, I'm just stating how it could change. I'm just saying, however, I still believe there will be a winner. Do I believe the two will still gang up against whoever the big bad third threat being? My belief being Mechagodzilla, considering we have
Dude,
glimpses of
watch
what
us
we believe
all
it to
be
be.
wrong and one of them just gets fucking murdered.
I don't think they have the balls to do. They straight up don't. That would seriously kill off one of the two monster verses, considering they did state that this is its monster verse, like Marvel verse and DC universe.
Like
They're not going to completely cut off an ally
that would
like
be
that.
the ultimate in ballsy moves if they just straight up just kill off Kong.
Yeah,
Because it's
honestly.
gonna be Kong. People would flip shit if it was Godzilla.
Oh, if Godzilla loses that fight, there will be riots.
There,
Fuck, I'll take part of that.
there'll be
Actually,
there'll be there'll be a second storming of the Capitol.
fuck that. I'm storming Hollywood.
People storming the Capitol for Godzilla. Oh God. Uh,
But like, yeah, honestly, like, I
Anyways,
genuinely feel.
let's talk about other stupid Godzilla shit. Now that we've had our stupid argument over this.
So, honestly, what would you say is your favorite Godzilla movie?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Hmm.
Godzilla Wars.
Why is that?
Just because that movie from start to finish is just nonstop and it just goes and goes and goes. You know what I mean? Like because they had the idea, it's just like, Godzilla
What?
is kind of like slow when it gets to the human parts. So what if we just give the humans like super soldier powers and have them be kung fu battling and then like fund it? And other than that, I would say I forget the name of it, but the one Godzilla that had Kiryu in it, like the Mechagodzilla Kiryu, like that's another good
Hmm.
one. I like
That
that
is
one.
a good one.
Yeah.
Honestly, my favorite. I can't remember the name for the life of me, and I feel dumb as shit for it. Is when you see Godzilla just go on a massive kaiju killing spree.
You mean Godzilla
Holy,
Wars?
yeah. Like just watching him seriously go down kaiju after kaiju after fucking
Yeah, yeah.
kaiju.
Dude,
Like, oh my god.
American
Especially when he did a
Godzilla can
1v3. Oh my god, that was hype. And watch him kill the Americanized
Yeah,
Zilla.
yeah.
Oh, thank you.
American Zilla got fucking wrecked. He gets hit and blasted once against the Sydney Opera House and dies.
Oh, that was so satisfying to watch. Honestly,
Can we talk about the American Zilla? Like about how
that was a shit show.
Japan full on just like in one of their movies, there's this guy and they're in the meeting room. They're like, "What about the American Godzilla? The Americans think it's Godzilla, but we know better." And it's just like, wow, fucking drag the bitch. Why don't you?
Honestly, you know what would be an interesting idea? It would require a collaboration. I would love to see the Jaegers from Pacific Rim fight kaijus, like from the Godzilla versus kaijus.
If I'm being honest, like
I think that'd be dope.
I think the Godzilla vs Kaiju's are way stronger than anything Pacific Rim could give. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I think for the most part, I agree. The thing it would be the numbers factor. I think that would be the one advantage the Jaegers would have, but I would still love to watch Pacific Rim Jaegers fight Godzilla kaijus.
Well,
I think that would
here's the
be
thing. Here's
amazing.
the thing. Like when it comes to the nuclear blast that Godzilla has, he could probably overclock Gypsy Danger's like core just by breathing on it. You know what I mean? Which is bad for Gypsy Danger since it's nuclear powered.
Exactly. Granted, the others,
Like they have numbers and speed on their size. Jaegers are way faster than Kaiju's.
not to mention, they're all trained to actually
Unless you're
fight.
fighting Jet Jaguar or King Caesar, in which case, like that would be the biggest problem for the Jaegers fighting some of the other Defender of Earth models like Magura or Kiryu or Jet Jaguar or the fastest kaiju in existence, King Caesar. Which I know a lot of you are saying, who the fuck is King Caesar? Look it up. He's the fastest kaiju in there.
Yeah,
But
like
with the trade off being that King Caesar is well a little bit more frail than other kaiju's. He's the fastest, but he's a little bit more frail.
yeah, like I think that'd be an awesome film. Now, do I expect them to ever do it? No.
It was
I just
supposed to
want to
happen,
see.
actually.
I feel like it was supposed to happen, and I'm just upset I didn't get to.
It got canceled. It was supposed to happen, but they canceled it. They canned it when it was still in the developmental stage.
Like, I seriously can't express how badass it would be. Granted, they would have the amount of money the CGI would require for that.
Not even
much
that.
to
The
happen.
licensing, the licensing. You have to go through
Mhm.
Toho if you want to do anything Godzilla.
And as if we know anything about the Japanese, they don't like giving their shit.
Thank you.
They don't like sharing.
Thank you for giving Isabel her break, Red.
I Sony, come on.
No.
PS4.
I said thank you for giving Isabel her break. I know you could have gone worse with that.
Okay, yeah. But
Listen, buddy.
I thought you were being sarcastic.
No.
I thought you were being sarcastic too.
In the
when
tone you
you
gave, I
started
thought it was
mentioning that.
sarcastic. But
No.
like,
I was trying to be like, thank you.
anyhow, like, seriously, there's so much potential. Because the closest thing we got to that is, what's that one alien, like, jester-looking guy who can shrink and grow? What's his name?
Jet Jaguar?
Yeah, actually. I seriously don't know why I couldn't remember his
It's
name.
not an alien. He's a robot.
It was like an alien robot mixed dude. Oh, come on. I can't...
No, Jet Jaguar's from Earth.
Shit, you're right.
Kinda
My
looks
bad.
alien
He was
though, in my
built by
personal opinion.
humans.
But regardless, I want to see that shit, because just the level of training that the Jaeger pilots
The
get.
Jaeger pirates would straight up lose against Jet Jaguar. If Jet Jaguar is like getting beat up, he would just shrink, bust his way into the Jaeger and start pulling wires and shit.
Exactly.
It's like we lost connection to the right arm. Wait, where'd the enemy go? We don't know. The right arm just falls off, and they're like, oh shit.
Yeah, like, honestly, I still think it would be awesome to watch like 3 or 4 Jaegers duke it out with legendary Godzilla.
You like if it's against original Godzilla, all the Jaegers would fucking lose.
I don't know, man. Like, 1962 Godzilla was a bit of a bitch. He was tiny.
But he could fucking jump like crazy.
You're telling me that they can't react fast enough to grab him and fucking hurl him?
Yeah, but remember that Godzilla can also fly.
And what about it? They all have ranged attacks.
Yeah, but the Jaegers can't fly.
Well, I mean, would it be surprising to find out if they, I don't know, had enough jet propulsion to launch them like a shuttle?
They can't fly though. It's the helicopters that drop off the Jaegers.
I know, but I'm saying, would it be that surprising if they made one that could, considering they very rarely
You know
fought?
how small the Jaeger would have to be to have enough thrust to bring it?
When you say Godzilla flying, check trash.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Well, he
every
also
time.
flies in the fact that he literally curls his tail up, faces away, and launches himself with his breath.
There it is.
That's just a flying drop kick from hell.
I know. It's just funny.
I don't know why they thought that makes sense, but hey, whatever.
Hey,
it's funny. It made for a good joke.
It's the 1960s. Anything was possible.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's
yeah,
it's like this is like it's like one of the shittiest yet one of the best Godzilla movies ever is Godzilla vs. Megalon. Mainly because it has Jet Jaguar in it. Like I love how Jet Jaguar is just helping hold up Megalon as he gets pounded. God.
Yeah, like I don't expect them to ever win. I would actually be surprised if they won.
I love this GIF so much because it looks like Godzilla's being propelled by God.
The funniest thing too is his like fist pump at the beginning. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get his ass."
Yeah, just look at him. He's like,
does some Honestly, Godzilla would be king at Limbo. Not gonna lie. If he can suspend himself at almost a perfect flat horizontal angle on his goddamn tail while propelling at Mach Christ to kick him in the chest, you can't tell me he wouldn't do godly in a kaiju level.
I remember my monster movie buddy fucking getting super mad at Death Battle where he lost to Gamera or Gamera lost to Godzilla. And I'm like,
oh, I was about to say, hold up.
Gamera is like a bitch tier compared to Godzilla.
Exactly. Like, honestly, I actually do like Gamera, and I think he's a really cool kaiju. It's just Godzilla.
Oh, he is a cool kaiju. Don't get me wrong. Gamera is cool. Like the way he flies is great. It's just that there's no way you could ever beat Godzilla.
Yeah, no, he legit has nothing that could put down Godzilla. For Christ's sake, Godzilla took a meteor in the face and just sat there. Like,
yeah.
It was seriously like the equivalence of a 6-year-old trying to punch you with a soccer bop. That's what it was.
Russian Badger makes that joke once, and that's all you go to.
Because it's such a good analogy. It applies.
It is.
Like, He didn't give a shit. The city was decimated. And he's just chilling there.
And he's like, yeah, whatever.
Like, I would not be surprised if there was like a parody of him sitting there reading the goddamn newspaper as it disappears, and he's just now it's my problem.
You know what I would kill for is a modern like kaiju fighting game where you could play as the Gotengo.
Bro, okay, honestly, growing up,
Do you guys know what the Gotengo is?
I can't say I
The
Mm,
Gotengo is humanity's greatest anti-kaiju weapon. Like, let me see if I can get you guys a picture here. And like, hang on.
while you're doing that real
Gotengo.
quick. Growing up, my most favorite game to play with my childhood best friend was Godzilla. Like, we were playing on the original Xbox Godzilla. It was an absolute blast. And I remember Mecha Godzilla 3, we had the hardest time fighting him. Like, we were able to 2v1 and finally kill him. It's just at the time, I only ever really played Gigan, and he only ever played Mecha Godzilla 2. But, oh my god, it was so much fun. I'm actually curious if that comes on Steam. If Ty the Tasmanian Tiger is on Steam, I low-key won't be that surprised if it is or isn't on Steam for Godzilla. And if it is on there, I'm buying it right now. God damn it.
I still say destroy all monsters and Godzilla saves the Earth is like the best kaiju fighting games out there.
I'm actually going to see if I can find it. Apparently, there's a PlayStation 4 Godzilla game.
Yeah, that one's actually pretty good.
I haven't tried
It's
it,
actually
and I
really
would love
good.
to. Let's see. I'm trying to find the one for the Xbox because that's the one 1990s. It's not that old. It's going to be like 2007-ish. I think it's Godzilla Unleashed actually. Nope, it is not Godzilla
Oh yeah,
Unleashed.
Godzilla Unleashed is pretty good. Oh my god.
What?
These size comparisons, holy shit.
Oh, I think it was. Yeah, it was. It was Godzilla Save the Earth.
Godzilla Saves the Earth was great. Okay, in Trash Can, look at these size comparisons. Fucking hell, original Godzilla was tiny.
I told you.
Yeah, but behind American Godzilla, that's the Gotengo. It's basically
Oh
this.
yeah, it killed off what's his bucket, the Chinese dragon. Oh my god, what was his name?
Yeah.
Shit, I can't actually. It was like Ryu or some shit.
I think that's Gorosaurus. I think.
I can't remember his name, but it
Manda, that was his name. Manda.
Manda. Okay, there it is.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know it
yeah.
has something to do with like an Asian like name.
The Gotengo killed Manda. That's right. I had to think about that for a solid minute. Oh, it's not Godzilla Wars. It's Godzilla Final Wars. The Gotengo was in that as well. Actually, both models of the Gotengo was in Godzilla Final Wars. Godzilla
Yeah, like,
Final Wars was great because it had every single kaiju in that movie.
oh yeah, like honestly, just across the board, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Like I would kill. I might actually hook up my place. No, honestly, since I'm moving in May, and I think we actually found a contender that we're probably gonna get. That's very close to where I work, where everyone works, which is awesome.
Like the Gotengo is great because it's like it's the only anti-kaiju weapon that we made that actually works. And this was the Gotengo in Final Wars. But man, do I love the Gotengo. It's just such a cool idea. It's like we make this airship that's specifically designed for fighting kaijus. And if you look at the size comparison, the original Gotengo is like the size of Godzilla. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Also, don't forget in Godzilla Final Wars, we got the greatest design for King Ghidorah ever. It was fucking Kaiser King Ghidorah, where he looked like a giant centaur.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Fucking just looking at the size comparison for Shin Godzilla to Kaiser King Ghidorah, that's a match right there.
Yeah. Honestly, just across the board, there's so much good. Like, I wish that there was a. I don't, can we just get a Godzilla game on Steam? That'd be awesome.
Can we just get Godzilla's game on Steam? That's right. We were supposed to have so much more to talk about, but we talked about tipping and Godzilla throughout this entire episode.
Hey, that
And
just leaves more for next time, right?
yeah, I suppose it does. All right, as always, I've been your host, Sir Chandarius, and this has been the Best of Nothing podcast, and we will see you all next time.
Later.
Night, guys.